This video contains rapidly flashing lights and colors. If you're photosensitive, this video might not be for you. As the convention was very loud, voiceover and subtitles will be used. Hello and welcome to the fourth part of our Houston Arcade Expo 2021 coverage. Over here we have a row of pinball games: Fire, Taxi, Doctor Who, Addams Family, The Shadow, and all the way at the end, South Park. Saturn's playing Taxi over there. This is one of my favorite pinball games. It has a great sense of humor. The objectives are easy to understand. The game has enough depth to keep you in, but it doesn't get too dense. Addams Family, based on the movie, based on the TV show, based on the comic. It's the highest grossing pinball game of all time. It's a very beloved game. Next to the Addams Family is The Shadow, based on the old pulp character. Sam thought it was James Bond. In the mid-90s, up until about 1999, Sega had a pinball venture. It was a successor to Data East Pinball Division. Batman Forever is one of their most successful tables. It's based on the Joel Schumacher film. The dot matrix display is a higher resolution than what was common at the time. This one's been modified to display color. One of Sega's last pinball games was South Park. This was in 1999 when the show was still fresh and had more of an emphasis on bathroom humor and surrealism rather than being the biting satire that it is today. The game is divisive. It's loved by casuals, but not so much by hardcore players. Clover's never seen this game before. He's very excited to see it.
Wow. Well, you know what I gotta do.
Sam also enjoyed this game a lot, and here's the Rat Master to give his thoughts.
Something about this South Park pinball machine really caught my eye. The idea itself sounded a bit out there. I wasn't sure how a pinball machine would be able to capture the feeling of the show. To my surprise, the game successfully references South Park with its many props, sound effects, and objectives. I really enjoyed how they turned killing Kenny into an objective in the machine. It was something like knock him down after 5 tries and you kill him. There was also a race with Cartman that requires the 2 flipper buttons being mashed. That was pretty fun too. The graphics on the dot matrix display looked really nice. Being a casual South Park fan and also knowing that it was made by Sega just made the machine a bit more appealing to me than others. Definitely one of my favorite pinball machines at the convention. Speaking of pinball games based on adult animation, I found the Family Guy game to be pretty fun as well. I didn't find it as interesting because I don't really care for that show myself, but the plethora of detailed props and references interested me similar to South Park. My favorite feature about this game is the mini playfield called Stewie's Mini Pinball. It's very similar to the mini playfield seen in games like Genie or Mandalorian. I really like when pinball machines have small playfields within the main playfield. It's like Pinception, pinball within pinball. I feel like I'm breaking rules even though they are the rules. Also, both games have multi-ball, and I love me some multi-ball. In South Park, you need to hit a toilet in order to get it. And in Family Guy, you're either hidden letters that spell out fart, or maybe a character from the show inside Stewie's Pinball. I think one out of the two is not as respectable, but you gotta do what you gotta do in order to get some extra balls.
2? 3? Wait. 4? Multi-ball bonus, yo.
Funhouse, a popular Pat Lawlor design. Players are invited to battle Rudy, a dummy who rolls over the funhouse with an iron fist. I used to find this game to be very cluttered and creepy, but it's since grown on me. And here's a fun trivia fact: Ed Boon, the co-creator of Mortal Kombat, voices Rudy.
This is really starting to annoy me.
No Fear, Dangerous Sports, possibly the only table here based on a clothing brand. No Fear was Steve Ritchie's final game for Williams. It maintains his enthusiasm for daredevil antics, speed, and stunts. There's some big scoring opportunities on this table. Space Invaders by Bally. I had wondered if this was based on Space Invaders, the Taito games, or if it just happened to be invaders from space. But you take a closer look at the props on the table, and that's clearly Taito's Space Invaders. This was back when Bally Midway had the Space Invaders license, and they were a little bit more free-form with the properties they licensed out. The invaders here look more like xenomorphs rather than the squid aliens or the fuzzy monsters on the official art.
I like that it's like a 2-level field.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, watch out for the spooky skull.
Judgment Day.
Terminator 2, not only a highly requested table by our viewers, but also another Steve Ritchie design. Based on one of my favorite movies ever, this is another fast-moving table with all your shots nicely lined up there. This is considered to be the first pinball game with a video mode. Hey, check this out. There's a Terminator 2 over here. You walk a bit, you walk a bit. There's a Terminator 2 over there. Simpsons Pinball Party. From 2001, this is a fairly popular Stern game. At the 2018 Expo, there was a huge line forming for this game.
That's gotta be over here.
Oh no, the moving Homer head is so creepy.
The Spider-Man machine was a ton of fun. I really loved the theming on this one. It showcases all the main villains from the original trilogy of Sam Raimi films. The game had many sound effects and lines from the films. And you definitely heard the pain of Spidey's enemies when you rammed a pinball into them. I also like the third flipper in the middle. I always like little extra features on machines. Overall, Spider-Man handled well, and it was definitely one of my favorites at the Expo. I'm a big Spidey fan. You could call me a webhead. So I definitely loved it visually and play-wise.
This is the NES game High Speed, based on the Williams pinball machine of the same name. The original pinball game is designed by Steve Ritchie, and the legend of the pinball game is that one day in California, he was driving over 100 miles per hour. He got chased by the police and pulled over. He got a ticket, and the theory is that he thought, wow, this would make a great pinball game.
You know, as you do, you turn your felonies and misdemeanors into pinball games.
And they made 2 of them.
Did you make 2 misdemeanors or felonies?
2 tickets.
Yeah,
No.
2 tickets.
No, 2 games. High Speed and High Speed 2, The Getaway.
Was the second one called Car Crash?
High Speed 2, The Getaway.
Oh, okay. So not Car Crash. That's unfortunate. This is, oh, it's good now. Oh, it like fixed itself. Oh. Whoa.
Okay, I think I need a point.
Now this is Car Crash. See how this lighting is.
You just can't do that with the digital game.
Yeah, exactly. You can't blow in it either.
At least they were generous enough to leave this here.
Yeah.
There was some middle-aged dude with a t-shirt of an NES cartridge, and it just said
Blow me. I had a feeling.
That's really gross.
That's to be expected, sadly. Try it out. Have fun. Alright, one more try. Let's hope this doesn't result in yet another car crash. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, God. Hey, we're in business. Let's go.
able to press start.
Are we ready for authentic pinball action? I like how the Y looks like 4. Oh wow.
It does look really pretty, actually.
Yeah, the graphics are really nice. This is NES, right? Wow. This looks really good for an NES game. No.
Kickback, kick out.
Okay, you gotta kick back. That's lucky.
How's it feel?
I think it feels pretty darn good for an NES pinball game.
I'd imagine it's a lot less tactile than an actual pinball machine.
Of course. Oh.
It actually looks pretty good.
Yeah.
The NES game is made by Rare. Let's see it right there.
So how does this version of the game compare to the actual pinball?
I've heard it's fine. I mean, I don't think anything can replicate the pinball experience. I've barely played it myself.
If you look at the cartridge, it says that it's made in Japan, but the game is based on a Western pinball game, and it also isn't a Rare European company. It seems like we're going international with this high-speed chase.
It's a very multicultural felony.
There were over 130 pinball games at the show. We filmed about 60 of them. We didn't get everything, but we tried our hardest to take our viewer requests and suggestions into consideration. Hopefully you all enjoyed the pinball videos. This is something I've been wanting to do for about 3 years now, but I'm ready to move on from pinball. Because if you haven't noticed, we've barely talked about video games at all. So stay tuned, there's going to be even more videos on the expo. Thank you to everybody who contributed or worked on this video. If you want to help us out, here's some links to consider. For other parts of this series, check out over here, or just stick around until the video ends. I'm not going to hold it against you.